Hi, I'm Rusty. I'm getting ready to go to a car show this weekend. The first thing I need to do is change the oil in this car. It's been a long time since it's been done. A few months. Time to change it. It's 428 Cobra Jet. First thing I got to do is jack it up so I can get underneath it. Not good. Gotta get farther under it. Plus, I want to get it neutral.
Why does it have to be a neutral? I would think it would need to be in park.
I want it to roll so it doesn't, the jack doesn't get twisted and it comes off the jack. I'm jacking it up, see my back together, roll forward if it needs to.
Interesting.
It's been jacked up a lot of times over the years, so I don't need to put a towel under it. But if we were working on a new car, a newer one, restoration, we'd be putting the towels on the jack stand, so no scratches. Go a little higher.
Is that onto the frame, or you put
Yes.
the jack stand by the frame?
Yes, front frame rails.
Okay. And then you let it right down onto that. You let it right down onto that.
Jack stand. Come over here for a minute, Debbie. Let me show you. You always want to fill the oil filter up first with some oil, so you're not putting it on there dry. So when you first start the engine up, you don't want it to be dry.
Oh. But not all the way?
Well, almost. You may put some more in it later because it'll go down some. Yes. Behind you. I was afraid of that. I got the wrong size. You can go ahead and stop videoing now for a minute there, Debbie.
Okay.
I thought I picked up a 7/8 and it was a 3/4. It just won't work.
It's coming. Ooh. Does it look dirty?
A little bit.
This is hard. I'm glad that my person at the car dealership does it for me.
Well, you can't get a car dealership to work on a Cobra Jet Mustang from 1969. That's the drag cars.
Ooh.
Wipe my hands off. It'll be a while now.
So it's going to take a while to drain out. Oh, it's really coming out now. Okay.
While that's draining, I'm going to go ahead and put some gas, race fuel in this Sunoco 110 octane.
So you don't just use regular gas in this
No.
race car.
I've only got a 3-gallon fuel cell back here. Coming in closer, Debbie, people can see it. It's a little tricky getting this off here. There you go.
That looks like it's custom built.
Yes, it is. This was a regular gas tank, and we cut the top out of the gas tank. So from outside, it looks original. But underneath, outside underneath, you can see it's all original, but inside the car, it's got the fuel cell in here, fuel pump over here.
Okay, that's a fuel
Filter for the fuel pump right
Okay.
there. Over here is a weight box. This weight box is to change classes. You have to add weight. You put weight in there, up to 100 pounds.
Only on one side though, doesn't
Yep.
it need to be balanced out on both sides?
All the torque goes to the right side of the car, so you try to get more on the right side. Because
Oh.
you want to spin more on that side.
So this is Sunoco what?
110 octane.
110 octane. Where do
This is-
you can only get that at certain places?
Yes, lots of times the racetrack has it, or speed shops.
How much do you put in?
Just enough to fill it. It's like I said, it's only 3 gallons. You can't go very far.
And
I'm
that's a
gonna be-
5-gallon can, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to be going to a show in Lakeland, and I have to park in a garage and drive it down the street a little bit. I'll be driving it more than I normally will. But I'll be going slow with it. So it won't burn that much gas. Usually about a gallon a run. A quarter mile I use.
On the drag strip.
Yes.
Well, that's not very good gas mileage, is it?
Not really.
Okay.
All right, we're going to put the drain plug back in.
It has to be good and tight,
Yep.
doesn't it? So the oil doesn't leak out.
Put the oil filter, new oil filter on.
And that's already got oil in it.
Yes. And it's very tight to these headers. Not a lot of clearance. It's a lot of fun putting these headers on.
Don't put those headers on.
Who?
Yeah.
I did. I've been putting these headers like this on this car since 1971. Okay. That's it for the...
So that's the old oil. Is that it, Rusty?
Now we gotta put new oil in.
Should I come up there?
Yeah.
Okay. Not just oiling that filter then.
No. This has an 8-quart oil pan, so we're putting 8 quarts in.
I'm filming.
This one has an 8-quart oil pan, Ford Racing oil pan, so we're going to put 8 quarts in it. This will take a while, baby.
Is this just normal oil or is this racing oil?
No, it's Mobil 1 synthetic oil.
Do you know the difference between synthetic and non-synthetic oil? I always wonder that. No? I'm gonna look it up. Google it.
I do, but I'm not sure that... I'm not a chemist, so I can't give you the exact answer to that question.
Okay. 8 quarts.
This is a 428 Cobra Jet in here. It's been built by Mike at Competition Motorsports in Sarasota, and it's legal for Stock Eliminator. I believe it's 25 thousandths over bore. It's got a Stock Eliminator correction grind camshaft, and we had it on the dyno. It makes about 512 horsepower, which we're still going to be playing with that in the future. Try to get some more horsepower. I ran it last year down in Bradenton, and it hadn't been run since 2009. It was 2018. The rebuilt engine, new suspension, and the only thing, and new tires. The only thing we didn't change was the transmission, and I had trouble with the transmission. It launched real good off the starting line, picked the wheels up, which surprised me, since I had taken 200 pounds out of the back of the car to run in a different class. And high gear didn't want to work right. So I had another transmission, spare transmission. We checked it and made sure it was okay and everything was okay. We stuck that in the car, and I went 11:08, right at 119 and a half, I believe it was. That was my quickest time. But I was hoping to get in the 10s with the car. But we were still having some issues with it, and I'm pretty sure it's going to run in the mid-10s when we're finished. The fastest it's ever gone is a 1075 at 124.
What's the fastest again?
1075 at 124
Okay.
in a quarter mile. Back in the 70s when I raced this in Superstock, I set the Superstock G automatic record twice with it, mile per hour record, and this one doesn't want to open up. Let me get another one. I set the record at Amarillo, Texas, the World Finals at 121.39 in 1971. And then at NHRA points race in Suffolk, Virginia, I set the ET record at 11:26. Next day I went 11:13 with the car at 122.95. And then I broke up, went too quick in eliminations and broke out.
I can't believe you remember all of this. Are you counting?
Yeah, I can go home. I know how many I got over there. Why don't you look underneath the car, make sure it's not pouring out the bottom. I'm sure it's not, but I might check.
Goodness. No, it's
Okay.
not. You have
Okay.
a little drip on, you have a little puddle on the ground, but that was there already. That, you spilled it when you were doing it.
Alright. I didn't think it'd be leaking, but we're all loaded up, everything's tight. Ready to go to the show tomorrow. Go.
I didn't start it. You were already moving when I started it. Go back.
Want me to go?
Yeah, I know.
Chalk it up in the front here so it doesn't roll too far forward. We're angling downhill just a little bit. That's it. It's now in the trailer. Now it's time to tie it down. Now it's time to get ready to go to the car show tomorrow. We'll load it up in the trailer.
I'm disappointed. I thought I'd get a bird out of something. Hey, you right there.
So you're not going to drive it up?
No, we're going to winch it up. We don't want to drive it. It's too hard to get out of. I've done that in the past when I was younger, but nowadays it's harder to get out. With a roll bar in there.
Yeah.
Come on, Dan.
Walk her towards me. That's a good girl.
All right.
It's a girl.
Now you gotta look at you.
Wait. Okay.
Now we're gonna get get ready to see if we can start this thing. It hasn't been started in a while either. Hopefully it'll start. Hey Mike, you got a 1/2 inch wrench?
1/2 inch wrench?
Yes, sir.
Does it need to be deep well?
Nope, just a wrench. I mean, I could probably get it with that. So now we're going to try to start it.
I gotta
So,
remember to take it off the white one too.
so look for any gas leaks
will.
up here. We're going to see if it'll start.
You'll hear the pump if it's dry.
Well, you'll hear it.